You're listening to Brainwork Framework, a business and marketing podcast, brought to you by focus-biz.com.
Our special guest today is a millionaire entrepreneur who is also a 2024 U.S. presidential candidate. No, it's not Trump. He's in the 65 age category. And I know you're thinking it's not Biden either. Even better than all of our presidents before us is Harvey Wizard, U.S. presidential candidate for 2024. He is a seven-figure entrepreneur and also the creator of the College Wizard. This is how you ace your SAT score and can get into one of the top 25 colleges. So excited to get inside his brain and tell us more about who he is and what he's doing. Harvey, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. I don't know if you really want to get into my brain. You never know what's going to come leaking out. So
let's see what
we'll
we
see.
have.
I always promise adventure. Always adventure.
Let's go on an adventure. That's perfect. So Harvey, you're obviously an accomplished person. You have a book coming out very soon, The 65-Year-Old Badass, 21 Unconventional Secrets of Life, Wealth, Health, and Adventure. I mean, you're doing it all. You have this experience with you, and you're bringing it into the U.S. presidential candidacy. Why? Why do you want to be president?
Well, I guess a great bit of advice for all the entrepreneurs out there, right? One of my important bits of advice is the definition of success. Success is doing what others can't, won't, or are too afraid to do. And that has allowed me to not only be an internet multimillionaire, build an orphanage in Ethiopia, named for me, documentary filmmaker, award-winning photographer, best-selling author, published songwriter, and I'm a globe-trotting stand-up comedian with the only English language comedy club that I built right in back of my house using my alter ego, Papi Azucar, which means sugar daddy in Spanish. It also means I'm positively irresistible to gold diggers of every gender and diabetic. But anyway, yes, I've done all this stuff, and a lot of it is just from being largely fearless. And how did the president thing came about? Because, I'm always trying to figure out, can I do what other people think is impossible? I mean, I started my first business by winning a national contest when I was 11. Yeah, because I was 11 and I was interested in photography, and I wanted a camera and darkroom equipment. And my mother said, "You'll have to earn that." And then I was watching an episode of 60 Minutes where this guy was saying how you could win contests. I am going to be 65 in March. Let me just say that. And if you think I look good and I've beaten the fountain of youth, yes, I have. Aren't I the kind of guy with the vim and vigor to be your next president? Just a little, had to throw that in there a little bit. And just go to harveywizard.com, become a wizard. You'll get on the list and you'll get one of my guaranteed jobs, guaranteed scholarships. And here comes the brutal honesty for all. So I learned on that 60 Minutes episode of a guy who was winning contests in the old times when you actually had to mail stuff in. And fundamentally, what he was saying is you just have to make your entry stand out, because at that point, there was a matter of human interaction, right? There was a human who was going to pick one entry out or other. So that was everything from put a bend on the corner, put the stamps on backwards, have it be a strange looking envelope, things like that. And the weekend when I entered this, it was a little coloring contest called the Cappy Dick Contest. You can look it up and see it's a real thing. And on this particular Sunday's entry, it was color the fireflies. Now, the overall coloring piece was almost all black because it was at night. There was a little shadow on the people's faces, very little to color. Now, I want everybody to focus on this because this is your typical business problem, right? So now we're in an industry where nobody can really differentiate themselves from everybody else. You're in a bunch of Me Too people, but we want to win with the odds stacked against us. So I used what I learned from the 60 Minutes episode, and I created out of colored paper, Red the Firefly, about this big, and I pasted the entry on the stomach, folded it over, put it in an enormous envelope with all kinds of coloring stuff on the outside, and sent it away. And 30 days later or so, I hear a voice in the living room. It's my mother. And she says, "What you do? You won this national contest." And that's how I won a set of World Book encyclopedias, which, since I was a typical Jewish family, we already had a set. And, we're always about education and stuff, at least in the 70s. And so I sold my existing set of World Books encyclopedias to another Jewish family and kept the new ones. And with the money, I bought a camera in the dark room, and now I have to market my business. Well, this was in the 70s when you could make free local phone calls. So I literally just went through the phone book until I got somebody who said they had kids in their household. And if you had kids in your household, I was going to come and take a free portrait of your kid, only pay for the pictures you want. And gosh darn it, I never had to work at McDonald's. Yeah. You see, it's all the same principles, right? Differentiate yourself, create an irresistible offer, and you can make the money you want.
That's the formula.
Yes.
That's what people are looking for.
Yeah. And in my book, I believe it's chapter number 5, and this is a really important rule. Give people what they actually want, which may not be necessarily what you want to give. Super, super important.
Say it louder for the people in the back, please. Come on. Yes.
And let's illustrate, as I do everything, with a story, because I've been around a long time. I've got great stories. So let's talk the story of the extendable fork. And don't let this happen to you. This is a guy many years ago. See, I was a spammer before they called it spam. And this is also about how you build skills, how you build experience and keep going, and then you get your reward, because I didn't have a lot of money and I was messing around trying to make money on the internet with dial-up under my young daughter's loft bed. I had a phone with dial-up, and I was messing around on AOL and realizing, hey, I can send to everybody in AOL. So I started a marketing agency spamming people in AOL. Okay. And there's this one guy who responded to the ad, and he had this extendable fork. Such a sad tale. He had been an upper level marketing executive for a major packaged goods company. And somehow, I don't know, he took a car antenna, he put a fork at the end, and he just thought it was hilarious to go to dinner with his friends and pull out this extendable fork and take pieces of food from everybody's plate, which, while mildly amusing, does not really qualify to base your entire financial future on. But this guy had. And for 3 years, this is all he was doing, trying to push the extendable fork. Yeah. I'm sure he ended up in bankruptcy or something. I couldn't even take the guy's money. It was just such a bad idea. But it signifies what people do. Well, this will be good. But do people want it? And that's why you always test. Always test. I had a very successful tarot card reading business that I started, maybe 40 years ago, because we went into a neighborhood and I hadn't seen anybody doing tarot cards, and they had a little penny pincher newspaper. And I said, what the heck? For $7, I just wrote an ad that said tarot astrology with a phone number. And within an hour of it coming out, I was booked up for 2 weeks. The only problem was I didn't know how to read tarot cards. No problem. You see, because what I did was I responded to everybody by saying, I'm sorry, the response is so great, I'm booked up for 30 days.
Give you some time to learn how to tarot.
Exactly. And it's all a matter of presentation, because I couldn't memorize all of it. So I had all of my note cards in a box that I layered with velvet and put stuff around it. Whenever I approached a spread I couldn't remember how to decode, I was like, this is a really difficult problem. I have to go back in the archives. You see, it's all how you present it. And then there's some businesses you don't want, because as it turned out, I found out who my avatar was for this business. Women cheating on their husbands who wanted to know if they were going to get caught. It really wasn't exactly where I wanted to go.
They were just calling for peace of mind, but that just showcases a great example of, you don't know what your audience, your customers are going to want. One, you need to listen to them, but 2, figure out after you sell it. You didn't know tarot, you didn't know how astrology worked in a essence, and to be able to charge someone for that and provide them a service, you figured it out later. You sold first, and that's what a lot of entrepreneurs do. It's a hard crash course into what our customers want.
Yeah. And so here's about me running for president, because I treated it the same way. Okay. It was a Sunday, and I was just getting frustrated with the political everything, like we all do. I was like, what's it take to run for president? And it's so great, because here I am. If you realize, I'm in Costa Rica. Okay. I am a US citizen, but I'm here in Costa Rica. And So I find out on YouTube, it tells you how to fill out the forms, which are really easy. And the best part, you don't even have to give your social security number. Yeah, I'm registered as Harvey Wizard. And Harvey is my given first name. Absolutely. Because, my mother, as she said, she told me she didn't want to beat me. And then she said, I named you Harvey, figuring the kids in the playground would do it for you. And they did. But the wizard part, well, then, because I do come up with these magical things. But anyway, I'm just typing in. I'm like, they didn't ask for social security number. Harvey Wizard it is. And the only part I need now, and I'm like, how am I going to do this in Costa Rica on a Sunday? Do you know about the Patriot Act? They're trying to make it like really hard for unknown people to create bank accounts without them seeing your face and all that kind of stuff. This is for you entrepreneurs who want to, it's called found.com. And I'm not even getting affiliate money from them yet. So this is just a real freebie for found.com, because I was like, how to open a business bank account on a Sunday. And this place comes up, and within 10 minutes, they asked for a social security number. Luckily, I have one. But basically, I was able to open a Harvey Wizard for President business bank account with the number and everything on a Sunday. So I was able to finish the FA's Federal Election Commission form, which requires the name of the bank, and get the name of the bank. And now it's all cool. And then I waited for Monday to get my EIN, and now it's all real. And I actually have credit card processing. And here's a wild thing, because I sell these SAT courses. And when I started selling the courses, I got a couple too many chargebacks, like 1.5%. And I'm like, I'm not selling work at home stuff, which I have done, but not here. And, this is just legitimate how to get your SAT up. And I'm being treated like some kind of criminal because of a high chargeback rate. And then I found zenpayments.com. And this is the wild thing. They're like, oh, we love courses. And we don't care. We have some people with chargeback rates of 10%. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. Then I go to fill out the application, right? And you realize these are the same people who are processing my credit card stuff for my presidential campaign. Normally, when you get a credit card hookup, you have to say, what is your industry, right? It could be automotive, banking, whatever. There are only 4 choices when I applied of my business, the things it could be: weed, porn, guns, or other. So I am now the nasty other in a sea of weed, porn, and guns. I just love it. And that's how I sell my SAT course. And they were equally happy to take on my Harvey Wizard for President. I have an account. Okay. So people can actually give me money, right? And I just came up with how I'm doing that, because I've got the best merch, the best. I have my Elon Nazi t-shirt. I have my Bibi Netanyahu, the baby killer t-shirt. And I have my Please Don't MAGA hat. It's a picture. It's an illustration of Donald Trump with his hair all wet, like he's caught in rain, except the rain's all yellow. And it says Golden Boy with a carrot and the word shower coming up out of it. And then it says, please don't make America ghastly again. And I'm making them signed and numbered. See, it's my own little instant NFT, $1,000 donation to the campaign, and you can get one. And if I have a little bit of traction, we all know the appreciation of presidential memorabilia. Now, meanwhile, with testing this, I'm okay, I'm running, but who the heck is going to believe this? And I went to this spa, and I'm meeting with some friends at a place here in Costa Rica around the pool. And there's a couple from Wisconsin, from the US. And I'm just like, what the heck? I just introduced myself. Hi, I'm Harvey Wizard. I'm running for president. I'd like your vote. Thinking they're going to laugh at me. Well, do you know I'm talking for them for 3 hours? And I got their votes. And then I'm like, this thing is real. And then suddenly everybody is saying they want to vote for me. And I thought it was just a way to get some publicity initially. And then I realized, now here's the big finale. As I start pondering this, I realized that I can actually change America. Because here's the problem. You look at any independent candidate over however many years, like Jill Stein, I'm like, 2%. How many millions of dollars she's raising for 2%? It's just a joke. You can never actually compete. It's like you have to be a guerrilla warfare person. You can't compete in the game that everybody else has already rigged against you. And I had this verified by people in the government, because I said, could this happen? I said, everybody is about building your list, right? I said, if I had a list of 150 million people who are into Harvey Wizard, and they go all right in Harvey Wizard, and then of course I can be smart about it, figure out the swing states and adjust my email campaign to get people in the right places, I win, and I take money out of politics. That's the only way to And I said, it may not. And the cool thing is, I'm saying maybe if it goes viral, it could be this year. If not, I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm 65 now. Figure I got 12 years, right? And my list keeps growing. See, all these other people like Clemmy Ramaswamy, he's $20 million, whatever, it's gone. It's all gone. And he has to start all again next time. But I'm like, I'm just going the virtual route. I'm going to do it. I don't even have to come into the US. I'll do my fundraising out in Europe and stuff.
That's brilliant.
I think so. And no, it could actually work. I mean, it's like, it's just for fun. And then I'm like, this over time, like everything that's good could actually change the world. And in truth, I would be happy if other people picking up on this, maybe someone with more political experience than me, realizes, hey, I can go on the build a list approach. And that's part of how I'm doing a job for everybody, because I actually have a better SAT program. Everybody else is doing it wrong. You find it, all of it in my book, 65-Year-Old Badass, and you can get it for $1, harveywizard.com. Just get a list. You'll get every piece of me. I'm going to be all used up before I die. That's my point. I'm just giving away as much as I can. But the point is, if you get people on my list, if you help your school to use my SAT system, which is why I'm the only one who can guarantee it, it's the times tables for the SAT. Everybody else is just milking your money, teaching you stuff that's not going to get you the score. I reverse engineered the test. I proved it for like 50 years. Everybody who follows through and does the work gets it, right? And if you help me get it, you can get rich too. Give me the list from your high school. I'll pay you $1 for every person who opts into my list. And if you in your hometown get people to sign up for my SAT thing, you get 10% of that. It's only $3,900. My competition is charging $100,000 because they are live price gougers. And I talk all about that in my book. The point was, somebody who's at the very top of the SAT tutoring industry, upon seeing what I do, the exact words were, well, Harvey, I guess I could say our systems are cousins of one another, but to be honest, I would be your stupid cousin. That's like walking into Ford Motors with your idea for a car and then saying, well, Harvey, your car is beyond anything we've ever even imagined. And it was followed by, I'd like to make an army of Harveys to teach SAT through the country. And I tour him and I turned him down, like, oh, I turned the multimillionaire down. Now he ghosts me. Well, the story is true, and I've put it on YouTube. And then, don't you know, a year ago, I get a letter from his lawyer, which I love, because I've had a couple of these millionaires who I make cry. I make their lawyers cry, because through a series of events, which you can read about in 65-Year-Old Badass, has something to do with 2 Romanian webcam girl wives, but just to get you a little titillated. But the point is, I am a completely divested person. I own nothing in the world except for the right to live in my paid-for house. But I don't own the house. I don't own the land. I don't own the companies. That means you could sue me, but you'll get as much out of me as Rudy Giuliani. So I talked to a lawyer. I said, if I told the truth and brought down $1 billion company, there's really nothing they can do to me. He goes, you can only get 0 from 0. And that is what's allowing me to go on that. Because at first I thought that was a joke. And I'm like, I'm really doing it. You can search for Harvey Wizard in my SAT Holy War, because everybody's doing it wrong. They're wasting your kids' time. They're lying to you to make it sound like they can just show up for classes and get a score. It's all about the practice. It's all what they do. You're being lied to. I'm telling the truth. Join the Harvey Wizard movement. You will get the true information. Brutal honesty is right there. Jobs for all, scholarships for all, brutal honesty for all. I'm going to employ you. I'm going to give you money. And if you're not making any, it's because you're lazy. There you go.
There it is. Now with the honesty and the transparency that you're bringing to your campaign, communication is going to play a very important factor into making sure the recipients of your message actually hear what you're saying. Brutal honesty, that can be a little tough, only because sometimes we're not ready for the truth or we just can't handle it. Is there a way within your presidential messaging you can ensure that you're giving people the truth while bringing us together, while not making them hate you at the same time?
Well, the solution to that, I think, is Stephen Morris. He said he wanted to be my vice president. I haven't officially confirmed it with him, but he's someone who would more likely support Trump. He is a war veteran with 3 Purple Hearts. And the very fact that I'm willing to balance my ticket with someone like that the fact that as a Jew, I have very interesting ideas on Israel. And I know I don't want to go over and too far. And in fact, there's a guy, I was so excited. He's been an ardent Trump supporter, and we tease each other at the gym. Really nice guy. And when I gave him my platform today, he agreed to vote for me. So that told me I'm on the right track. Let's talk about the border. All right. And here's the thing about why I'm better. Because, the Democrats are like, let's let in anybody. And that makes Republicans crazy, right? And it's just like, it's like watching parasites come and attack you. And I understand that. Right? So there's two parts of it. One, while our law remains the same, I want us to be compassionate. I don't want us separating children from parents and all of that. But what has to happen, and this is the same with entitlements. I'll touch that third rail. I don't care. When a plan is created, here's the point. It's like, let's say you're in a small town and you make a nice Halloween celebration every day, and every kid who comes gets, let's say, a box of chocolates. There's 500, maybe on average, 30 people come to your house. And that's your standing rule. Come on Halloween, you get a box of chocolates. But then an amusement park builds some kind of, scary goblin show on Halloween, and now there's 20,000 people in that town. Oh, and just go over there and get your free box of chocolates. Well, that's the time to change the rules, okay? It's just friggin' normal. The United States can no longer put its hand out to every refugee. You just can't. When Social Security was started, it was basically life expectancy was maybe another 10 years from when you got your Social Security, just to stop for those last 10 years, those completely destitute people from living in abject poverty. That's what Social Security was about. So this crazy idea that I put the money in and it's coming. No, no, no. The money you put into Social Security is your dues. Okay. That's your US dues to be part of US society. And we're helping each other. And yes, your money comes in and it pays for those people, but we need to change the rules. We need to create independently minded citizens, because the same Trump supporters who are not taking care of themselves, going and breaking the windows of the Capitol is not the way to take care of your family, which is what you really wanted. And I know you're angry, but if you join the Wizard organization, I'm going to point you in the right, and I'm going to tell you when you're becoming lazy, you got to not do that. You're going to get what you deserve. You're being lazy. Yes, your life has been hard on you. See, someone should have cross-trained the coal miners, is the point. And if there wasn't all this money involved in stuff, it would have happened. That's a natural thing. Here are people whose lifestyle is being phased out for the good of all. We need to make sure they're taken care of. You have a deficit of people who can do coding. It just needs some smart organization and taking money out of the process so it's actually egalitarian and good for all. I rest my case.
It's a refreshing point of view, and I love the perspective, because the money behind everything, it's not just the politics within business, within life. It creates these incentives to do bad in order to get money by whatever means. Corporations have run with this for decades, and we see this happening in many elections and things like that. But it's just nice to see that it's not this left or right. We can bring people together. We can share different objective ideas, opinions, and thoughts, and then let's create an equitable resolution from that. There doesn't need to be this bickering about we can't let anyone in or we have to let everyone in. Let's find this middle ground and let's just have the conversation.
Exactly.
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. Now,
Go
for
ahead.
people who want to support you and find out more about you, you said there's harveywizard.com. Where can everyone find?
Well, I've really made it so easy that if you just Google harveywizard.com, and my email is on there. I will personally respond as long as I can. Then I have an AI version of myself that I may need to use, but it's going to be all based on me, just like my book. That's how I was able to write a book in 7 days. My entire life story, how to tell all of the scandalous dirt in there. There's even, yeah. Anyway, scandalous dirt, but it can be done, is the point. Just search for Harvey Wizard, harveywizard.com. There's a little button, become a wizard. You're going to give me your name and email. I'm going to text you a job application. Okay. You're going to get a job application if you want one. If you want to support me, you'll get that. If you want your kid to get a scholarship, I'll show you how to do that. If you want to come to Costa Rica and use my plastic surgeon, I'll give you that. Whatever the heck you want, anything that I've done that I can help you with, I will do that.
Harvey, I love it.
President.
I love it. You're bringing great energy and a different perspective to industries where it was desperately needed. And I hope that you can still apply that, once you're president and you get your cool new cabinet members and your VP in there. Hopefully it can be for the better of everybody, just the people. Give them jobs, give them some scholarships, and give them some honesty. And that way, those are the opportunities that people need in order to thrive.
And for a little bit of fun, at the back of my book is my one-man show script, Poppy Azucar, Sweet Revenge. Yeah, where I name names, ruin reputations, destroy a couple of marriages, maybe cause a heart attack or suicide or two. Who knows? Let's have some fun. But the point is, some people deserve it. Yeah, if you're pulling us down, I'm not going to let you get away with it. And I've been very proud of some of my sweet revenge. But join up. Don't be the kind of person I need to take care of. Join us.
Beautiful, wonderful. For those of you who want to get all the juicy gossip and the controversy, make sure you check out his new book, 65-Year-Old Badass, 21 Unconventional Secrets to a Life of Wealth, Health, and Adventure. Harvey Wizard for President 2024, accomplished entrepreneur. So much more that we could dive into, but we only have so much time. Make sure you check out harveywizard.com. Harvey, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on everything and all of your continued success.
Thanks, Chris. Get on harveywizard.com. Come on. Or I have to do my crazy Eddie impression.
Thanks,
That's
everyone.
for the old